the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics. From the legends of memory.
Hello guys, what's up? It's me, Kirito. Alongside me, it's my man Crips. Welcome to the Tech Gauntlet Season 4 LG Ultragear. It is gonna be it's powered by Crucial. Apparel sponsor is 656. Search sponsor is Cosmic Byte, and our esports sponsor is Aim Labs. Today we have another couple of matches for you today. One match is already finished up at 4 p.m. and at 8 p.m. we're gonna be beginning the second match of the day. It is gonna be Team RHOE taking on Team T69, and it's gonna be an exciting one. What are we feeling today, Crips?
So I feel like this new lineup of RHOE has a lot to prove. And they're going up against T69, which is also a team which has gone through a lot of lineup changes. So this is even grounds for both the teams, right? None of the teams are comfortable with the new lineup. Of course, there's a certain level of comfort because the players, they might have played with each other before, but not in like a competitive game. So T69 looking fresh with the new lineup. RHOE also looking the same. We'll take a detailed look at their lineups later on. But for now, all I want to say is that these two teams are dead even. And I'm really excited to see what these new lineups bring to the table.
Indeed, it's going to be an exciting match for us today, and we're going to be taking a look at the whole match more specifically. But to first start things off, we're going to take a look at the group standings and see how where the teams are going to be placed in the standings and what the whole situation looks like. Obviously, we've already had one match in the group A. It's going to be Two Rippers in the lead with 2 points. In the second position, we'll have Team Valor with 1 point, and on third, we're going to have FSE Sports and Team T69 on fourth. So rest of the teams haven't really played the matches yet, so we don't exactly know. Like Team RHOE, they haven't had, they're gonna have their first match today, so we don't exactly know where each of the teams stand just yet. But give it just a bit of just a little bit more time, we're gonna have an exact idea on where everyone is and what this group is gonna look like. But with that being said, I feel like this is still going to be a really exciting group. Both obviously Group A and B have some stacked teams, and I think it's going to get exciting even more as the competition goes on.
I agree. I'm really excited to see Team RHOE debut. T69 they have played a game before, but they didn't win it. Obviously, we didn't see them at their peak. Ezzy was firing on all cylinders, but the other people couldn't keep up. Binks had a few highlight moments of his own, but they were not enough to see them through the game. And I'm really excited to see what Wonder brings to the table. He was a bit uncomfortable last time, understandably so. This is the first time jitters, so I hope that T69 have become a lot more comfortable from the first match that they played, and they can bring their A game to this one.
Yeah, they're gonna need that A game. They're gonna need that top form all the way around because this group has some insane teams all around, and they're gonna have to make sure they always play the best they can, so that they can perform really well in this season. Because right now, with how the matches are starting out to be, I feel like overall every single match, every single round is gonna count in the overall tournament. Because at this point, we never really know. You can't really tell who is gonna be taking the lead, who's gonna be staying behind, so they gotta keep performing at least in every single match at this beginning stage. We're starting with this match today.
Yep, and let's get underway, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at the lineups of these teams. Obviously, both of them have gone through a lot of changes, so we'll begin with RHOE. And the biggest change that you can see over here is clearly the addition of Ion Q, a person who's been in a lot of teams. The first time we saw him was under the banner of RG Academy, but then he's changed hands, he's changed hats as well, and of course, he's changed some roles. But he's looked very comfortable all throughout. So there's Ion Q, and the rest of his teammates also right there. We have Abigod, Kawhi, Fox, and Immutable playing today.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty interesting team, and INQ obviously a lot of pressure on him coming out here. Being that new player, it's always hard to you fit in with a new team
Mhm.
and get used to their strats, get used to their chemistry, stuff like that. It's easier said than done, but knowing his experience, knowing how many times he's been in that scenario, I feel like he should be at least at a pretty decent state to play really well with this team, and I'm pretty sure his teammates are going to be there to back him up as well. If your teammate's not having a good day, make sure you all step in and just give him some room to breathe, give him a little support so that he can slowly but surely get back in the game. And I think that should be their main objectives today, considering how what a difficult match this is they're going to be facing.
Yep. And this is the difficult match because they are up against T69. Speaking of T69, let's take a look at their roster. I mean, we are familiar with the roster to some extent, but there's a few new names, few new faces. Trist, Wonder, Binks, Ezzy, and today we're going to be having Strix as well. So Wonder obviously being the new addition in this team. He's a largely unproven talent. He's played with a few big names before under some different tournaments, but this is the first time I'm going to be seeing him in this tournament. Of course, they played yesterday as well, but since I wasn't casting that match, this is my first time casting the new T69. And I want to see if they still have that explosive firepower in them. I mean, last season, it was Ezzy being the clutch master, Binks and Strix opening up the site with the superior firepower, and then they kind of, just went with the flow. The starting was always amazing, but the one thing that T69 struggled with in the last season was closing out some of those rounds. I want to see if they fix that this time around.
Yeah, and I feel like additions of new players like Wonder, who obviously I don't really know much about. We don't really know much about him. I feel like stuff like that will definitely change out the team and add a new dynamic to the team and possibly fix out a lot of the issues that they have been having in the past. So obviously he's a lot unproven. He still has to be out here and make a mark, but hopefully that mark will be strong enough for his team to be able to fix those problems they've had in the past. Because right now, no, there are no room for mistakes. They definitely need to make sure that they get every single point right.
Yeah, and they don't have a single point yet. They had a match already. They weren't able to win even one map, and that's why they're still at zero. It would really suck to be in their shoes if they lose this game as well. So they better bring their A game to the table. And this is a golden opportunity to get a win. Even RHOE is not comfortable with their lineup, and this is their debut gauntlet game. So there's a good chance that they might have a severe case of the nerves. Maybe T69 won't have that, and they can hopefully overpower RHOE and get themselves a win that they so desperately need on the scoreboard.
So with that being said, we are going to be moving into the match real soon. But before we go into the match, let's go into the map vetoes to see what the maps are going to be for this best of three series. And for the first map already on the board, it's going to be Bind picked by the side of T69, and the team RHOE are going to be picking to defend on that first half. The second map is going to be picked by RHOE. It's going to be on Ascent, and T69 are going to be defending the third map, the decider map. And we've been seeing a lot of this map going to the third map. I don't know if there's any strat or reason for it, but Split seems to be being fixed on that third position, the decider map, for pretty much almost all of the games this tournament. I don't know if that's weird, but just something I feel like I realized.
Yeah, but one thing is there, all of these maps are really brawlish, very puggish. There's
Yeah.
not too much strategic outplay you can do in a map like Ascent and Split. I mean, the map has been played to that. Everyone knows the ins and outs of it. I mean, if there was something like Haven or Icebox in the mix, we probably could have seen some nice outplays strategically. But I think most of these rounds are going to come down to brawls. Now, back when T69 was playing in Season 3, they kind of relied on their executes to win bind whenever they were on the attacking side. And they will be starting on attack this time around. So I want to see if those same lethal executes are still being used by T69, or have they adapted to a more split approach? Have they changed up their signature playstyle? I want to see that if T69 are continuing to do what they were doing in the last season. On Ascent, I don't really have a lot of expectations, so I'm just going to go with the flow on that one. Split, on the other hand, it's a rather unproven map for both these teams, so they're just going to be equally uncomfortable. Although, considering that T69 is a damn good team on Bind, there's a good chance that we might never get to see Split.
Yeah, and considering the map picks, I feel like T69 do have a bit of an edge overall. And considering how they like to play, that aggressive play style, if they can keep that gunfight on point for the entirety of the match, which I feel like they have a lot of trouble with in some cases, like they, start out the round, they get a bunch of rounds, and they just feel like they're the most invincible team in the world. They keep on getting the frags, they keep on winning the 1v1s, but overall they sometimes I feel like they lose the energy and they can keep that momentum up. So that's going to be something they need to fix, especially
Yeah.
considering these kinds of map picks, bind, ascent, split, as you said, puggish maps. You need to be able to keep your aim on point for the entirety of the game.
And momentum as well. We've seen so
Indeed.
many times where T69 have the lead, but they just squander it simply because they lose one or two crucial rounds, which break their economy. And then after that, it's all downhill for them. So that was one crucial weakness of T69 in the last season, losing some of those important rounds, which were important for their economy. And if you lose at that point, you kind of are broke. Let's see what these guys have in store for us as we're about to hop into buying, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the agent selection for you.
Well, with the map of bind, I mean, what do you want to go with agent selection? Right now, Valorant, it has so many metas. Some players like to go for the double controller. A lot of players like to go for the double initiator. Both are really viable. Some even like to go with the old school double duelist. And I feel
Yeah.
like we might see a lot of those come in this tournament as well. Right now, I mean, it's a very diverse scenario. You can go for whatever you wish, but I believe the side of RHOE have already picked up their agent selections. We see they're all hovering on top of that. Vibe is going to be on the Sova. We see INQ on the Viper. Fox is going to be on the Sky, and Immutable is going to be on the Jet, and Kawaii on the Astra. So obviously a double controller, double initiator lineup. No Sentinels. That's going to be interesting to see. Usually, I do prefer to have maybe a Killjoy or Cypher on board, but let's see what the side of RHOE are going to bring to table with this agent selection. Meanwhile, on the opposition, we have T69. Trist picking up that Killjoy, Strix on the Jet, and Wonder on the Sova. The rest of the players yet to select their agents.
Select
So
your agent.
I think they might go for that double initiator in this case, but let's find out. Unless, of course, they disconnected or something.
Oh, damn, that would be unfortunate. Either way, with Ion Q, oh, he just switched up. So Ion Q and Immutable switched up their agents just in the last moment. The lineup's still the same, but with the lack of a Sentinel on RHUE, the Viper will have to kind of play like a pseudo Sentinel in this situation.
Indeed, and the Viper utility does sort of allow you to do that, not as effectively, but you can still play around with your Viper mollies, with your Viper smoke cloud and stuff like that. It still allows you to hold on to a site quite, easily. But the level of support that you need from your teammates is still quite high. You definitely need a little bit more utility and gunplay. Like as a Cypher, you can single-handedly block off enemies from entering into a site and then use your gun to defend it. Meanwhile, Killjoy can stand back from a distance, let the utility, let the swarm nades do the work, the alarm bots do the work. So the same is not exactly possible with the Viper, but let's see how the players actually play with these agents. As we go into the agent selection for the second time, I believe all the players, yep, they have picked their agents this time. Let's go to the side of T69. We see Binks going with the Raze, Ezzy with the
Oh.
Astra, Strix with the Jet, Wonder with the Sova, and Trist with the Killjoy. And there's the double duelist lineup that we all love to see.
So, on one hand, T69 have picked up the double duelist, but then on the other side, RHOV have not only a double controller, but also a double initiator, with Ion Q being the only duelist in the team. A rather safe approach and a very strategic approach for RHOV, which is a stark contrast from the side of T69, because the double duelist kind of indicates to us that they're looking to keep this game based solely on their momentum and firepower. They don't want to think too much, they want to commit their utility and bulldoze their way in a sight, which is the signature T69 style. Momentum is the name of their game, and the one thing that makes them deadly is their immense potential to just steamroll over any one of these sites. And the lack of a sentinel on RHOE might just enable T69 to do exactly that. Let's see if they are able to keep up with the pace, or will T69 walk away with the lead as we jump into the first pistol round of the game.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting match, especially with the agent selection. We see early control outside that B-long established. That is an interesting Viper smoke placed by Immutable. That does allow
Yeah.
his teammate Kawhi to go into pretty aggressive position in the B-long. But meanwhile, Hookah's completely open. We see Ray's Bings dropping down from Hookah, but he doesn't check the right angle. He's gonna be taken down as the first frag, first casualty of the day, first casualty of the match. And Twist, the rest of the players are pushing in. The gravitational wells are gonna come in, but Kawhi, triple kill for him. He's gonna get 2K, but the trade is there immediately, and Iron Q comes in to finish the job. What a side hole from Kawhi. How did he live that long? I have no idea.
Kawhi, yeah, hitting all those nasty shots really opened up the run for his team over here, and he was such a pillar on the B-Long region. First of all, I feel a little bad for Binks because the person who killed him did get revealed by the Sova's recon dart, but a bit too late, and by that time, Binks was already dead. That resulted in the end of Hookah aggression, and the few players who were still positioned over there were instantly dealt with that rapid rotation from the side of RHOE. So many people just jumped down the teleporter and dealt with it. This time, RHOE not looking to slow down at all. They're pushing all the way through. Trades come on, but Fox, he can't fall back just yet. Doesn't matter. He's still sticking around and trying to fight. Of course, that's going to result in his death. And with that, T69 have got the man advantage. They might even be able to confirm this round considering everyone has weapons. And Immutable, the timing is perfect. He hears as he go towards the other side. Wonder is busy droning. He missed the shots. Still managed to connect them towards the end. And somehow a double. Oh, that was a bit too close for comfort. But it seems like we have this in the bag. Unless the Clutch Master Ezzy has something to say about it.
His HP doesn't really suggest the same thing. He is only 22 away. The bomb tap comes in. Gravitational well used up, but no one's gonna fall for that. The players are too smart, and the stick comes in from the Astra. Meanwhile, Immutable playing around the smoke, trying to find the player. Steps out. Spam comes in from Messi, but just a little bit too late. Kawhi now running out of the smoke and gets that easy frag onto him. That was a little bit close, honestly. We almost see the shots being whiffed. I believe it was Ankyo on the flank who barely missed the shots, but in the end he was able to get a couple of frags, bring it close for his teammates, make it a 2v1. And in the end, the round was winnable. The start was kind of scary though. They pushed out ahead. They almost everyone died, and I thought the round was going to be turned around, but it just played out in their favor, barely.
Barely, I know, right? I mean, Ion Q and Fox pushing out of a shot right at the start. And I was surprised that Fox decided to stick around and continue battling rather than falling back to safety and returning the numbers advantage. Could have resulted in his death, but for now it seems like everything's still Gucci. RHOE continuing to hold on to their weapons. It's a bonus run for them. On the other hand, T69 with the superior weaponry.
Taking that back.
Archer can still deal some damage with these guns though. We still see a Bulldog, a couple of Spectres. The Sheriff shots do need to connect from Vibey, easier said than done, but still not that bad of an armory considering it's a bit of a buy round for them. As the execution towards the A side comes in, a lot of utility being thrown through that A short, but the execution is slowed down. And we still see a large number of Viper utilities standing up. This entry is going to be very difficult.
What I'm most concerned about is the fact that the stars of the attacking Astra Ezzy are being wasted. This smoke's about to expire. Well, okay then. Smoke expires and Webby-God finds himself on the wrong end of Ezzy's rifle, and now Strix moves in through Bath. That worked. I was worried that maybe the smokes will fade and they wouldn't go through and all that setup will be wasted because so much time is being destroyed by the Viper utility, just holding them back for so long. But still, T69 makes short work of RHOE, putting the superior weaponry to their advantage. And it's just Ironki left with a cheesy judge, hoping to steal a Vandal or two.
There are some rifles in that heaven position if he's feeling a little bit brave to try and pick it up, but he's going for it. He's trying to pick that up. He also has a dash, he can just take it and run away. Bings does realize what the player has stole from that heaven position. He's going to send some spams flying, but none of the shots connect. He's going to be able to save one rifle in. And that's going to mean a lot in the next round, because right now he has about 2,000 credits. Some extra credits will be added. And the fact that he has another Vandal, he can allow his teammates buy another rifle. So that's gonna be big on its own. But still, 2-1, they're in the lead. They're still in the driving seat. They can still keep this in their favor.
So one thing did go well for RH2 this round, and that's the Viper utility holding Team T69 at bay. I mean, imagine a scenario where as he uses up his nebulas, he doesn't have any form of smokes available later on in the round, and then they have to go into a site raw doggy without any cover. That could have easily resulted in their deaths. It did not, simply because T69 had the superior weaponry and they were able to hit their shots. But in an equal situation like this, where both the teams have similar weaponry, things can go wrong for T69 if they are not able to capitalize that window.
Kawhi, a little bit aggressive with the Spectre. He has no armor as well. It's a bold move considering he pushed all the way into that B-long position with that sort of a utility. But right now, looks like the side of T69 are looking to push this B side. Lockdown immediately used up by the side of Trist. And they're going to be dropping down from that hookah. Shot guys do come in to deny the entry for a while. And it's going to be Immutable stuck in the side. He spots one player, gets the frag. Can he get a second one? No, the trade is going to come in from Wonder. 4v4 scenario as the lockdown finally stops. But Vibey, what a shot. But the trades are going to come in. Wonder. Beautiful gunplay coming in from either side. 3v3 scenario, Kawhi edging to go into the fight, but the HP and the Swarm Nades are keeping him at bay. And post-hand begins. What are they gonna do?
Oh, very risky push by IonQ. Somehow still works. Where we got peeks alongside him. The double trouble is imminent. Strix, massive responsibility on his shoulders.
Oh my god.
Somehow isolates the frag and a juicy one tap onto Ebigod. Well, he proves that he is the god.
What was? We need another look up. Oh, dude,
Yeah,
what
we
was
both
that?
do. Honestly, both the Jets outperformed this round. Doesn't matter who wins in the end, because this was such a juicy round with so many amazing frags. It was a treat for the eyes.
Indeed, it was a beautiful entry coming out from the side of T69, and they're able to walk into the site quite easily, take down a bunch of players, play on the trades, keep the man count equal, and a great retake attempt from the side of RHOE, but it was just a little less compared to what Strix had ready. Insane clutch coming out from him, but right now, in eco round for the side of RHOE, they're going to be playing with shorties, they're going to be playing on shorties, and with pistol. Mutable does get a one, but the trade is going to be instant by Trade.
Oh
Another
no!
trade. Alright, a lot of damage already being done with these pistols. Not a bad eco.
Definitely not. And all of this is possible because of Ebigod's utility. So many people getting revealed through that nebula, allowing for instant refrags. Perfect stuff for Ebigod, and now the shock darts as well. He's kind of cornered over here, so he needs to fight his way out. He's done enough. I wouldn't have expected anything more from him. IonQ still holding on with the shotty. And while that happens, there's a backstab coming in, which will be detected by the alarm bot, mind you. But now that Kawhi's position has been revealed, the ball is in T69's court. They have the option of going towards the B side if they so get into the defender spawn region. But does IonQ know this? He knows for a fact that site has been relinquished, but does he know that they've also been compromised on CT? Oh yeah, now he heard the footsteps, so now they know.
They should
what do
know,
they
and
do about
They
it?
have an abundance of rifles in the site, so they can pick up some guns and try and play this 2v2, but they do lack armor. That's the big problem for them. Tristan and Ezzy both have armor, both have Vandals to play with as well. And they're both positioned really well. We still see Ezzy all the way in the base of the defenders. I think he's expecting them to come in from the flank. His position is revealed as the dash from IonQ does spot him a second before the Cosmic Divide comes in. But look at this position from Triss. Do they expect this is the question? Ezzy, one frag onto Kawhi, isolating the angles. They don't know where he is. Triss from behind comes in and gets the frag. And look at that excitement. He knows that that's a big round for his team. He's gonna keep that momentum going.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest, this was a decent run from RHOE as well. They had a eco, a bunch of shorties and sheriffs, that's all that they had, and still they dropped 3 rifles from T69 in a situation where T69 does not really have all that much economy. It's gonna force them to reinvest. And now what am I seeing? A double op setup? One in the hands of IonQ, one in the hands of Immutable? Oh my Kirito. I'm starting to get nervous over here.
This is definitely an interesting one, but Binks destroying that operator peak from Mutable. Now Kawhi in a tough position. The concussion comes in. He's going to be in a very difficult position. 100 speed. Vibe trying to keep his teammate alive, but Binks is going to squeeze in. But Binks doesn't check the right angle. Kawhi gets that frag. He's spotted out by that Sova utility. Going to get the trade. 3 versus 4 scenario. Very much in favor side of T69 as Triss gets one more. 2v4 now. Fox using up the Seekers. Trying to play the retake. Trying to keep those flashes coming. Gets one. But the trade is instant and all onto IronQ. With an operator on the jet. Bot's gonna spot him out and a flying jet. He doesn't see him.
What an expensive round for Ultragear. 2 ops invested, none of them yielding results. I feel really bad for Immutable because he got instantly deleted. But then look at the response from Ultragear. I really thought Binks would die over there because the Sky Trailblazer stunned him, and then Baby God used his Hunter's Fury. Now, in a situation where Binks cannot move because he's concussed, the Hunter's Fury would have been able to kill him instantly, but he keeps himself alive by satcheling away from danger. Of course, he does die in the end later on, but that one player, Binks, all by himself, baited out so much utility from Ultragear. Imagine having the Hunter's Fury available in a retake. That would have been game-changing, but nope, it got wasted. Trailblazer got wasted, and with no information-finding abilities, the retake seems nearly impossible for Ultragear. Brilliant round from T69, and now Ultragear are broke once more.
Yeah, and I think Immutable not being able to actually, at least not, I mean, it's not the fact that he didn't get a frag, it's the fact that he was eliminated early on, sort of set the pace for the match and set the pace for the round, and increase that aggression. And the side of the defenders, they weren't just able to, you know, hold on to that. They were struggling and they were just throwing the utilities, and the side of T69 took full advantage of that. That being said, though, another round is going to be coming in. It's going to be an eco for RHOE. And they're definitely going to have to make some of these frags count. We have seen good eco rounds coming out of them, so this is one of those rounds where they're going to have to make those happen again. It is going to be an A push. They have a bunch of players holding on to it. But what are they going to do? Strix dashing into Hall. Can he get the first frag? The concussion does buy some time for him, but IronQ with the Blaze Storm gets a couple of frags. He is traded instantly by Binks, though, with the Swarm Nade. Fox still alive from Shower. Gets one headshot onto Strix. And now a really difficult position for Wonder. Shockdarts come in. He's only 10 HP. The frenzy should be enough for Kawhi, but he's not going to go for the peak. Or is he? Oh, actually, Izzy and Wonder, they're going to get a couple frags. Vibey with the judge.
And off they go, heading towards the B side with whatever they've got left. Honestly, I sometimes feel that Ultragear perform better on the eco rounds as compared to the buy rounds.
Oh, no.
Oh, but Ezzy, standing there like the interceptor, preparing to destroy anyone's skull who dares speak out of that double door. But they know where Immutable is. He has to jump down. And this is a leap of faith. Does he have it in him? He's trying to bait out some shots, trying to nullify the positions that they have. But the Viper's Pit is not going to be of any use. Ezzy directly underneath him, instantly spraying him down.
Maybe he could have waited for that Nebula to dissipate, maybe. Then he could have had better vision.
I guess. But then he's running out of time.
He's running out of time. It's a 2v1. One of the players were low HP. I guess if they didn't have, you know, rush through that teleport, if they took their time with it, because one of the players was low in HP. Wonder, I believe, was only 10 HP. So if they took their time with that 2v2, maybe that run could have gone different. But 2-5 is the scoreline, and despite a decent start from RHOE, this is not looking good right now. A big amount of momentum and confidence is built up on their opponent's side. They're going to keep that going as well. And we talked about this aggression. Looking to switch things up is IronQ, but he's going to fail and he's going to try and run away. Here comes the 100 spree, the Cosmic Divide. Nothing, sorry, not the Cosmic Divide. Wait, what? Binks, a double kill onto IronQ and Vibey. Kawhi with the trade though. 3 versus 4 scenario. The teleport comes in, Ezzy holding on to a tight angle, but Immutable will punish him for that. 3v3. Kawhi still into the side. His location should be known. But look at this.
Switcheroo.
T69, they've been using those teleporters like absolute madness. Like almost every round.
And it's not just the teleporters, even the utility usage is perfect. 2 versus 2. This does seem doable for the side of Ultragear, but Wonder. Did he spot him? I don't think so.
No.
He still knows where he is, still knows where Fox will potentially come from. And with the drone not spotting anyone, this confirms their suspicions. The Trailblazer even more solidifying all the information that they had. But what do they do? Time is ticking. Trist has U-Haul under control. Pre-fire from Kawhi, not successful. And now Fox has nothing to work with. No Trailblazer, no flashes. At least the Nanoswarm grenade doesn't harm him, but Wonder's bullets definitely do. I have to admire the utility usage from T69 this round. First of all, they dealt with Ion Q in such a wonderful fashion. He dashed back, and there's a gravity well to stop them. If the gravity well doesn't get them, the Hunter's Fury will. And if the Hunter's Fury doesn't get them, the Showstopper will. T69 have insurance policies upon insurance policies, and there's so many backup plans that even if one of them fails, Rhoe will walk into the second one straight up.
Yep. And that just shows how much they've studied this game, how much they know the utilities and know the depth of this game. So many levels of utility. We're seeing some of that from Rhoe, though. Good gravitation will just slow down that push. Binks would definitely have countered on that momentum, but now INQ in a tough position. Has a judge, though. Not a bad weapon to have in that position, but I think the side of T69 are reading this. Like, okay, this seems a little bit too good to be true. And Iron confirms their suspicions, but not before getting one. Ezzy with the trade. Binks is gonna fall. 4v4 scenario. Two big duelists off the table.
Why are the rotations not here yet? There's two defenders still on the A side. And poor Webby God's all alone over here. He doesn't even have the weaponry to stop this one. He has backup in the form of the Astra or Luka, but they don't check him. And Webby God's freeze down 3! He gets all those kills for free, and Ezzy finally stopping the damage from seeping in even further. But it's already done and dusted. What can he potentially do in this round? Cosmic Divide available, but that's not going to help him. This shot definitely will. He has the chance to isolate these 1v1 duels. He knows there's going to be someone towards the defender entrance, but does he know where the second player is? If he wins this duel against Fox, this round is definitely possible, and he's done it. Now he can head towards the A site. But little does he know, Immutable is waiting for him over there.
Immutable, but he hears him. Oh, this is going to be the most anticlimactic ending. Immutable, bringing it back from the dead. Honestly, if they lost that round, despite what Vibey did in that belong position, that would have been sad, honestly. With the Spectre, we called him out, we wrote him off. Like, this guy is not ready to stop this push, and what does he do?
He literally proves us wrong. He's like, listen up, casters, I know you're looking at me, so shut up and watch my magic. Jeez, I did not think that he will be able to take 3 kills over there. He wasn't supposed to. Like, sure, he can get a couple of kills, but then what do you expect? You expect the trade to come through almost instantly. He didn't even have any backup. The Astra and Hookah had no way to help out Webby, but does he need help? No, he doesn't.
Right here. Here comes another push from the side of T69, pushing onto the A side. Lacestrom's not helping Strix out. Binks just get a trade, but Immutable. The positioning is good. And what a round starting off on the side of Rhoe, keeping this A side under control. I believe they know where Trist is. At least assuming where he is. He comes in from Fox, but Trist wins that fight. Ezzy as well. Oh, this is what's been happening for the side of Rhoe for a while. They have a decent positioning, they have a good lead, and a good man count as well, but they just keep on losing it. But not this time. Kawhi getting that final frag onto Ezzy, and it's a 4-6 scoreline. They can try to bring this to a 6-6 before the half ends.
Not gonna lie, Kawhi kinda had to bait his teammate in the teleporter over there. He was already in link. He can't progress any further towards a shot because there's always an alarm bot placed over there, so that's not gonna work. Instead, he decides to choose and stay right here near the Spices region. How does that help him? Not much in the first half of the round, but then, as soon as they take the teleporter, Kawhi's position becomes so crucial. His teammate jumped into the teleporter to set up the bait, hoping that they won't check that region, and they did not. It worked.
But will this work? Immutable going for a really fast peek and wins the duel against Binks. Recon does come in and spots him out, and the frag instantly from Strix. The Viper Spit will fall immediately, and the side execution Ezzy falling back just before the shot comes in. 4v4 lockdown from the attackers. Trist trying to buy some time for his teammates, but What are they gonna do? INQ does get one onto Wonder, but the trade immediately coming in from Ezzy. It's a 3v3 scenario. Fox will be detained, but he's in a safe position.
Such a sweaty round, and the spike has just gone down. We haven't even reached the conclusion yet. Retake coming through from Heaven and Defender Spawn respectively. A decent amount of presence from T69 is here towards the U-Haul region, but everyone's concussed and Ezzy's not healthy enough to help them out. Trist holding his ground, but now he needs to rely on just the sound. Webby God not giving away any Q, but Trist will make sure that this round belongs to them and no one else. Penultimate round of the half going in the favor of T69, and they are firmly in the lead.
Yeah, and I think they might take this next round as well. RHOE, their economy isn't the best. They're able to only buy some rifles. Sorry, not even rifles. They're buying some Spectres, SMGs, pistols even in the hands of some of the players. That is not what you want to see in the last round before the switch up. You want to make sure you have the best economy to go in and get the last round if possible, but it's the complete opposite of the scenario you want to be in. 6-9. I mean, just the level of firepower from this team. We talked about it, but again, each and every time I see them play, it's like, how are they able to get these frags? And how are they able to turn these rounds around as well? Because side of RHOE, they have such good starts. They have such good beginnings. INQ, brilliant frag onto Ezzy. The timing in his favor. And
What? Yo. Excuse me? Is that an alarm bot? Or is that a bloody boom bot? It followed him so long.
I don't know what I just witnessed there, but a bunch of frags going down. 3 versus 3 scenario. Fox with a judge stuck in that CD position. INQ still has his Blade Storm active and immutable. Going on the B-long flank, there is some killer utility to spot him out, though. Wonder if the turret's gonna start walking or not right now. I don't know what's happening, honestly.
Just like we saw in the trailer.
Oh god, I'm having flashbacks. Fox with the judge pushing in. He can do some damage with this actually. Spots out one player. Can he get the second one onto the jet? He will, but it's gonna be INQ. It's all onto Strix. But Fox with the judge, a triple kill for him and a 7-5 scoreline. The best they can afford in that scenario. They're going to be able to bring it. And 7-5, not a bad scoreline. They can still turn this around. But it's going to be difficult considering they don't really have the best of agent selections, honestly. I mean, it's a fine selection, but there are a lot of weaknesses that need to keep aware of, like the flank push coming in. We know how aggressive this team of T69 is. And you can be goddamn sure they're going to try flanking them. So with that lack of sentinels or a killjoy or even a chamber, you don't really have anything watching that back of yours. So you need to manually have a player holding on to that. And if he loses the gunfight, if there is some confusion in the communication, then the flank might do some serious damage. But other than that, to initiators, if INQ can do some fragging on the entry, this is not a bad lineup.
Yeah, and there is one thing. I'm glad that you pointed out the lack of sentinels, because every time the defenders tried to push aggressively, like, for example, Kawhi and his pushes towards Link, they were always stopped by the alarm bot. And that's one of the reasons why RHOE was never able to successfully backstab them, at least never in time to actually affect the players of T69. Sure, there was that one round where they were able to find 2 people coming in from shot. Otherwise, I don't recall anything else that went significantly wrong for T69. So let's see how this works. I mean, if Trist has some sort of a secret buff to his abilities, which lets his boombot, I'm sorry, not the boombot, the alarm bot move that further, I mean, my mistakes are justified, right? How far did that alarm bot come through? That's ridiculous.
What's the difference between a boombot and an alarm bot now?
Exactly, it's just lacking the explosives now. Still got the range and the distance.
We definitely need to send that to Riot in like explanation, please. We need to. that is something that I cannot get out of my head for a while.
I know. But someone clip that, and we'll send it over to Riot.
Please.
Have them explain this stuff.
Explanations are needed. But one more thing I do need some explanation is that, you know, we already talked about this lack of sentinels and everything, but now with the side of RHOE going on to the attack. How are they going to go and play aggressive with this? Obviously, the initiators can do a lot of work doing the entry, but INQ, he's going to have to be the main tip of the spear, right? He's going to have to dash in. He's going to be the first point of contact. He's not having the best of games. I'm not sure if it's just the jittery nerves of being okay. This is the new team, it's the start of a new season, or it's just having a bad day. Regardless, he needs to step up the game a little bit. Not just because he's a duelist, because he is the only duelist for his team. He needs to be that point of entry, and definitely that entry needs to be, needs to have a bit more fragging potential than what currently is happening.
So I think the tip of the spear is being sharpened now, and given the way how Immutable has been playing, his lines of sight are good enough to give IonQ the necessary cover that he needs. And if he's able to communicate with Kawhi and stun or gravity weld some of the most common locations that the defenders can stay in, IonQ can have his way. He can go at whatever pace he wants, and if the timing of the abilities is right, the Astra does offer you quite a lot of potential to catch a player napping. That's probably what IonQ needs to rely on, and also maybe help some, have Fox throw in some helpful flashes, set him up for some success. Although I do think that we are placing a bit too much emphasis on IonQ at this point. Sure, he's the tip of the spear, but you can't forget that the tip is not the only thing that that makes the spear. It's the rest of the place as well.
You can fight with the stick if you want.
Yeah, sticks and stones may break their bones, but these setups can definitely hurt them.
Yeah, especially with that skill draw as well. It's going to be so hard to break that. And the way we are seeing Triss play with that utility now on defense, that's going to be his home ground, and he's going to have a lot of fun. Immutable showing off some of his lineups early on in that A short position. That's a really, really aggressive Viper smoke being placed. Some utility on outside that B hookah as well coming in from Fox. The Trailblazer trying to gather some information. Nothing is going to be given to him just yet. But 3 players holding on to this B side could be a pretty big obstacle for the side of RHOE to do the entry. But oh, look at this. I didn't even realize. Immutable. Just surprises being and says hello. The trade does come in, but that does create some chaos, and we already see Wonder on the rotation. They're able to pull him out, but the spike isn't under their control, and they're actually going into the A side where Wonder has just rotated to. See, if they pushed into that B side, if they pushed into the B side that second, that would have been a good fake, but now with that flash from Fox, now Wonder again on the move.
Yeah, and the flash drew out the rotations in just the right time, as he has to give up this area. He's got backup in the form of the Soa, but if they double peek IonQ, this could result in the death. The shock does, damaging them so much, but still, it's RHOE coming on top of the duels. Strix. 1v3, nearly impossible round to win. And I love the way how Fox sold that fake. He's gonna have to be the best salesman in the world with those flashes, keeping the defenders rooted in the B side. In fact, even drawing out the rotation from players like Wonder. And then he had to rush back into the U-Hauls to keep Strix alive, and now he has to find another one right around the corner. The flash would have been perfect, but BabyGod doesn't even need it. Pistol confirmed by RHOE, and it's a very good chance that we might see a tie at 7-all.
Again, in the first half, we did see RHOE win both their first 2 rounds. So, again, the sides have been switched. Now they are on the attack, so that does change the dynamics of the game. But, again, history has a habit of repeating itself. So they've got to make sure that they don't make those mistakes of, throwing out those rounds early on. And now on attack, how do you usually throw away the rounds? It's either you aren't able to make a decision of pushing into the site, or you get denied while entering a site, but you aren't rotating. You're still sticking outside that site. You're still, throwing in utility, trying to take some gunfights that you shouldn't. But for now, they have the advantage, considering their weapons are a lot better. Immutable, what a shot onto Binks, and the entry into the site has been done. IonQ. This is where some of the mistakes might happen, overextending. They do have better weapons, so I don't really blame them, but any other round, I would tell IonQ to hold your horses. Push out a little bit too much just yet. Strix's position revealed on that heaven. He's gonna go for the wide peak, dashing away to safety, 50 HP right on him. And IonQ waiting for someone to push in through CT. Triss isn't going for it though.
Yeah, I think the best that they can do is probably steal a Spectre. Even that doesn't make sense because they'll have enough money to purchase Phantoms and Phantoms next round.
Yep, and he was able to get the trade, and 7-7 equalization comes in. Now the thing is, can they hold on to this? Because this is a buy round for their opponents.
Yeah, this is the buy down for T69 Artichoke. We need to make this eco count. They're investing a little bit. Fox purchases the Vandal. Immutable's probably gonna have to hold on to some eco weapon. Maybe not even buy anything to have some money in the next round. Just a Sheriff. And that's pretty much it. He's got the Viper's Pit though. So if they can get Immutable into the side, this will be a nice round confirmation. And I would really like it if Immutable can commit his ultimate in this round itself, because then he can just get it again by round 6. Use that Viper's Pit as frequently as you can, and that's a decent way to confirm this attacking half in your favor. A rather difficult approach from Artichoke this time around. See how slowly and steadily they are playing? It's such a different vibe from a team like T69 who rely on fast-paced executes. Artichoke, complete opposite. They have default spread outs. They're holding outside of A shot, outside of hookah, multiple people outside of long, obviously, which has been discovered. But they can always fall back, take the teleporters, go towards the other side of the map. There's nobody present on A to sell the fake, so if T69 can read this, then they can definitely start preemptively rotating, which will ruin the plans of Artichoke. But there's only 45 seconds left on the clock and they need to make a move. That's exactly what IronQ does. Jadetto fly and pass by, but Wonder, he's gonna stick around. He's doing the spray, holding them at bay, but Kawaii with run and gun instantly deals with him. 2v2, spike plant potential available, but the retake is already on the way before the spike can even be planted.
Last player standing.
Strake 17 HP, 1v2. What does he do is the question. Has a Vandal. He's going to be waiting for the opponents to make the first move. Kawaii. Oh, the flick is good, and he's going to be able to land the shot. 8-7. And Artichoke, bring it back. They're going to keep the lead going, and they're going to keep the momentum in their favor. 3 rounds in a row, not bad at all. And they can start to look for a good comeback, because right now it's going to be T69 on an eco, and the best they could go for it right now is a judge on Trist, so they're going to need some impact from that. But other than that, I feel like Artichoke should be able to bring into a 9-7 and hopefully, you know, increase their confidence, increase their momentum. Right now they're definitely feeling really good. The whole team's playing really consistently. I mean, look at that, 3 players all on 11 frags. I mean, you definitely want to see a little bit better performance than that, but they're being consistent. They're playing as a team. They're all getting the frags as a team. And that's what you want to see. Kawaii first frag onto Strict, but Easy with nice shot. A trade comes in. Can he find a second? No. Fox denies him. The flanks are already underway, and a Bucky making its way into you all. First shot connects, but Kawaii trades. Immutable and Vibey come in and back him up. 9-7 as we predicted. And I guess the momentum should be at a good state right now. It's going to be difficult for T69 to bring that down.
Yeah, the slow and steady pace really seems to be working for them. The best thing that the slow and steady pace does is that now T69 have to expend so much of their utility just to gather information. They need to use almost all of Wonder's utility just to see whether or not someone's present over there. And if they don't find any information on the back of it, then Strix and Binks are forced to play aggressively, hoping to find and spot someone, which obviously puts them at a risk of getting picked off. So whether they play defensively or aggressively, T69 will always find themselves in the thick of things because of the lack of information that they have. The Seek is committed, spotting 3 players on the A side, but it's not like Artichoke are gonna be faced by that. They continue assaulting as he does take down IronQ. That's the danger man out of the equation. But Kawaii getting pinged, can get taken down through Sova utility, falls back to safety. U-Haul controls relinquished once again, but to make up for it, they're committed the Viper's Pit. Still no plants, and Binks is on top, which could potentially stop the one from going down. But Wonder and Trist from U-Haul making short work of this execute. What a way to hold on. And even though Ultragear had so much going in their favor, they got into U-Hauls, they took control of it, the Viper's Pit was flawless, T69 just do not crumble.
Yeah, they realized the situation, and I think the best thing they did was, okay, we can't really take the gunfights now. They try and play that from a distance. Vibey with the utility, sorry, not Vibey, it's Wonder, with the utility on the Sova, you know, the Shogras, the Recons, buying a lot of time for his team. Binks going up on top of the little box on the side of A, actually causing some confusion amongst the attackers, and they were just not able to get the spike down and set up properly. So it definitely bought a lot of time for the players to push in and later on and get the frags. But right now, Rhoe trying to rush in, but Fizz and Ezzy again, they can play both passively and aggressively. The flash not working out. Fox does in the end get the frag onto Ezzy, but Vibey, oh, double kill with the Hunter's Fury, bringing it back for his team, and it's going to be a 2 versus 3 scenario.
Planted.
Rhoe with the man count advantage, and they're even going to commit another ultimate, the Cosmic Divider, into this.
Bro, so
Binks
many
does
ultimates being
off.
thrown.
Oh! Okay, Kawaii gets the frag onto Binks. 1 versus 3 on Strix. He's in U-Haul. What can he do?
Regardless of what the outcome of this round is, I have to admit that Rhoe had to commit a lot of resources to get inside.
Yep.
I mean, sure, the lockdown made things a little difficult for them, and Baby God used his Hunter Fury to destroy nothing but the lockdown, but he got 2 bonus frags on the back of it. And Baby God will take them any day and twice on a Sunday. Amazing stuff. I mean, I'm pretty sure he didn't even intend to get those 2 frags. He just happened to get them because U-Haul is such a clustered space. And especially when there's people fighting you over there, it becomes nearly impossible to, you know, put your brain in such a position where half your bandwidth is focused on aiming and half your bandwidth is focused on dodging the laser beams. No can do, sir. No can do. And just to be absolutely sure, they had Kawaii use the Cosmic Divide as well, you know, as an insurance policy, something that T69 were doing in the first half.
Well, they definitely need some insurance now, because right now this match is getting pretty interesting. T69 slowly losing away the lead. They are going to go for a bit of a force this time. They don't have the best of economy. Half armor on a lot of players. Wonder on a Spectre. The entry is going to be being done. INQ already in the side. He's going to spot out player in copy, but failing to get a frag. Trist working together. He's going to get a frag, but Immutable already inside, trying to get the wall bang in. Can he get one? He gets one, but the trade is instant. Immutable does get one before that. Vibey continuing the frags happening. It's a 3 versus 2 situation T69 has been in so many times. The flash coming in from Fox. Oh, the dink, but the trade from Strix. 2v2. Despite being low on HP, still the man count favors them. Question is, do they know that both players are there? Why?
30
Does he
seconds
commit
left.
the spy plan is the question.
More Asher actually being deployed just to deny the spike plant. 20 seconds left, and it's gonna come down to the wire. No aggression from the defenders just yet. Strix trying to buy some space for Ezzy to move inside, but he's gonna have to peek ahead of Nebula. Close angles being cleared. This does put him in a nice position, but do they know that he's coming in from the elbow side? I mean, at the end of the day...
Yes, they are, but he's running out of time.
Yeah, and they're expecting him to be on long. Kawaii probably won't be able to adjust quickly enough, and Ezzy surely beats him to the punch. Just needs to find this guy. He's aware that the spike is planted for Defender Ensign, so somewhere Fox would be nearby. And the pre-fire, not successful. The better strafing on this guy enables Fox to win the round. This is such a different vibe from Rhoe. Just 2 rounds ago, I was saying that Rhoe are playing it nicely, slowly, and methodically. And boom! Here they turn up the pace, and all of a sudden, T69 have no idea how to deal with it.
They were having some success initially. Like, they had a taste, like, okay, we're being able to deny them with the Viper's utility. In some cases, the Trist with the Killjoy and Wonder working together. They're able to pull off some good defenses, but in the end, the fragging capability has just, you know, gone up to such an extent that even through all those bits of utility and defensive, you know, holds and everything, the side of Rhoe are still winning these gunfights. That's allowing them to do the entry, and now that's pushed the side of T69 enough.
I've got
A
your
bit of a
trail.
half-buy.
Yeah,
Very well. No, oh! I thought he'll miss those shots, but look at that. There are a bunch of players coming out from TP, and Ezzy, he's gonna be daring to go to the astral form right now. Not able to run away in time. Vibey's gonna fall as well. Ezzy's gonna fall. So will Trist, and bringing it to a 4v3 scenario. And again, take TP. I don't know what's happening, honestly.
3v2. Turning into 2v2, Binks fighting
Player
away
standing.
with the Sheriff. Fox finally dealing with things, but now it's all up to the captain. 8 kills on him. Not having the best of days, but I think he can solidify his position further. Knows that there's going to be at least one player towards the defender entrance, but the spike being planted in that location is probably going to bamboozle him. Timing. What else can I say? RHUE making short work of T69 on the verge of winning map 1, and all of it on the back of some really variable pacing. In the first few rounds, at least in let's say up until round number 20, no, not 20, in the first 4 rounds of the day, they were able to win 4 rounds in a row, right? In those ones, RHOE were playing nicely, slowly, and spreading out. Now all of a sudden, they take T69's approach. The breakneck pacing makes it so much difficult for T69 to fight back. Forget about fighting back, they don't even have any ground to stand on because it's being turned into lava with all the Astra utility. Oh, Kawhi doesn't get the kill onto Ezzy. And him getting away with this is probably gonna be very costly. Strake's not yet detected, but he's keen on fighting. 2 ultimates available on T69. That is the Bladestorm and Tricks and the Cosmic Divide and Ezzy. On the other hand, RHOE have the exact same ultimates available, but they don't have one of them. Immutable. The round isn't even over, but he's focused on BMing first instead of focusing on the game. The salt is real. Are you ever gonna run out of bullets, bro? They're just casually
That's
sitting
what
here,
I'm
teabagging
thinking.
their opponents, and the spike hasn't even entered the site. Go plant the spike.
Well, someone tap him IRL and tell him he needs to get the spike down. Finally, the spike
Yeah.
lane going down. Finally, they're focusing on the game for a while, but despite all that, okay, immutable. He's definitely feeling himself. He pushed in through the Cosmic Divide into CT, gets 1 frag though, despite being traded, and now this whole map is, I don't know what it is.
It
Just seeing
is.
lines all around.
Player standing.
This is trigonometry or something. I don't know. But Vibe gets 1. Ezzy with the trade. 4 versus 1. But
Attackers
INQ to
win.
finish things off, and we're gonna see. We're gonna have our winners. RHOE looking so confident on the second half, looking so good on the gunfights. Like I mean, it was no one's business, honestly. The way they changed their gameplay from defense to attack, the way they aggressed onto the site was amazing to see, honestly. We didn't see that from them in the first half. We saw the complete
No.
opposite. T69 were the ones on the driver's seat, but the switcheroo played in their favor.
Yep. And towards the end of that round, you were right. Everyone lost track of what's happening. And if someone like me, a person who hates trigonometry, sees that round, they're going to get triggered. I mean, there's a cosmic divide which is forming across, and then there's a wiper wall right through it. That's just a nightmare for anyone who's trying to enter the site. It's almost like they're entering a labyrinth, which is constantly changing and shifting around them. And then there's minotaurs inside that you have to fight. So many of them, too. Absolutely beautiful game by RHOV. Although I have to admit that Immutable kind of lost track of himself over there, getting too involved in BMing. But hey, it's all fun and games. They have the first map. Let's take a look at the highlights and hope that RHOE can keep the momentum in the second one as well.
Yeah, and that's definitely gonna help them out because beginning of the game, things were definitely really slow for them, but it went from 0 to 60 in a matter of milliseconds, honestly, for this team.
Yeah.
What a way to kick things off. And that's definitely gonna help them out for the rest of the games as well, because if you're able to play that confidently, I mean, Immutable wasn't even honest, let's be honest. He wasn't really focused on the game. That wasn't his first
Nah.
priority. And despite that, he managed to get a lot of frags done, playing on the Viper as well. It's not like he was a duelist. He was absolutely insane and pushing in like that. The amount of confidence this team has right now, it's going to be absolutely insane in the next maps. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be really difficult for this other team, RHOE, to come back from that. It's not just the fact that they lost that map, the fact that they were in a really good scenario early on. And the switcheroo for I mean, definitely affected you, and combine that with the bit of the salt on the wounds coming in from the side of RHOE. That does things to your head, and hopefully they're gonna be able to recover from it, but it's not as easy as it seems.
Hey man, it's all about the mind games, and if you can get real estate inside the minds of your enemies, forget about map control. You control the most important resource on the battlefield, and that is the amount of bandwidth that's available in your opponent's head. So many of these rounds were close. Gonna admit, a lot of them came down to 1v1s, 2v2s, and in those clutch situations, you really can't do anything to guarantee your victory. In a situation like that, the best that you can do is adapt quickly. And oh boy, Arachui were very quick to improvise, adapt, and overcome. They switched over to some of the more cheesy weapons, like the judges in these situations. And Judge is a great tool to hold down some of those narrow corridors, but it's not really a proven weapon to be helpful in retakes. But do RHOV use that? Even consider that? No, they don't. They don't care. They just move in, regardless of the range they fight with it. Of course, things did get a little sweaty towards the end of the second half. RHOV all of a sudden turning up the pace, and that T69 is wondering, where is the calm and composed RHOV? How are these guys getting so aggressive all of a sudden? Where's the confidence coming from? And then you realize what RHOE was up to. Feeding misinformation in the first few rounds of that second half, pretending that they're the kind of team that go for defaults, which prompts T69 to rotate late. I mean, if there is an attacking side which is always spreading out on default, the only response that the defenders can do is play passively themselves, right? Or do something to gather information, spread out. And because RHOV decided to change up the pace in the last few rounds of the half, T69 was always late on the rotations. Why? Because they were always scared. This could be a fake. This could be a switcheroo. And because so many possibilities are still on the cards, T69 never had confirmed information and they were never able to rotate preemptively. They were always playing for the retakes. And to some extent, you can't afford to give up too many retake situations like that. So that's how the cookie crumbles. That's how T69 lose their own map pick. Next, we're going into Ascent, which happens to be RHOE's map pick, but let's be honest, Ascent is loyal to no one.
Yeah, and we have the scoreboard on our screens right now from the side of T69, Ezzy being the MVP. But I mean, he definitely tried out his best out there. We still have a lot of games to go. His duelist Binks and Strix not really finding the most success. They had some impact frags, but overall on the second half, they just couldn't really, get their footing in the game. Meanwhile, from the side of RHOE, Vibe taking the number one spot for his team with 19 frags. I mean, on that side, actually, the whole team was really consistent. They were fragging together, they were entering the site together, playing off the utility. This is a team where you're not really gonna see, one player with nearly 30 frags, the rest of them around 20-ish. That they played together. That's the style that they went for. And it sort of suited them on both their first half, passive style of play, and the second half, super aggressive style of play. So overall, I feel like if they continue to play with this level of consistency and this level of team coordination, that makes a really strong team, and this is definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, definitely the coordination for RHOE is on point. Let's see if they can keep it up or not in the second map. But before we head into that, we're going to be going on a short break, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, restock your snacks, bring up some fresh popcorn, because this match is going down to the wire. Coming up with Ascent in just a few minutes. We'll see you on the other side. Hey guys, welcome back to LG Ultragear presents TEC Gauntlet Season 4, powered by Crucial and apparel partner 6x6. And as I say welcome back, I unfortunately have to bid you goodbye as well. There is little bit of a sad news. T69 have forfeited the second map, and by default, the win goes to Team RHOE. The reason they did that is because Strix is not feeling well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I request you to send all your best wishes to Strix and hope that he recovers quickly. And unfortunately, because of this, T69 will not be playing Ascent. They're forfeited the game, but it's understandable because of health reasons.
Yeah, you want to make sure your team's playing at the full potential. In order to do that, you need to make sure all the players are feeling the best right now, and definitely that takes the priority over here. If the side of T69 are not confident in their players' ability to play the game, it's completely fine for them to not play the match. But regardless, this is the game we had for you today, and it's going to be resulting in a 2-0 scoreline. And with that being said, I mean, we don't really know what the next map could have played out as, but that will definitely, you know, take a toll on the group standings and take a toll on the overall tournament. So let's take a look at the group standings and see how this match has affected the overall standings on the group of A. As we see, the side of T69, they are yet to win a match. They've lost 2 in a row, so they're still going to be down in that fifth position. Meanwhile, the side of Team RHOE winning their first game, they're going to be going up to the second position with 2 points, still under two Rippers who've won both their games with 4 points in the lead. They are equal, Team RHOE, with the side of Valor, and under FSE, under below them is going to be FSE Sports. Still, we have a bunch of teams yet to play their games, so still a lot of excitement remaining in this tournament and in this group as well. So still something to look forward to.
Yeah, of course, the tournament is just getting started, so we have a lot to look forward to. We have some exciting games coming up for you tomorrow as well. Same time, same place. We have one best of three at 4 p.m., the other one at 8 p.m. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you tune in tomorrow as well for some action packed Valorant. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Also, hit the bell icon to know whenever we go live. And if you're feeling like it, go ahead and check out some cool apparel by 656. You can find the link in the description below, and some really powerful products by Crucial that will definitely ascend your gameplay. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And I know it's a bit of a premature goodbye, but unfortunately, health does take precedence over games. Take care of yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you all again tomorrow. Good night.
2, 3, let's go.